one more key illustration I want to give you is whenever Arlene and I will go out on date night, and just to clarify a point real quick, because everyone gets mad when they find out later, we are expecting a child, so let's get that over first. All right, so nobody else can be mad at me for not knowing. All right, here we go. But so we would go out on date night, and we would go hang out, and I thought I was really paying attention to her. Thought I was, we were sitting there, and we were talking, or she was talking, and I was going, yeah, and I was getting text messages and emails and checking Facebook, and I got to check one more status. But we made a pact. She said, when we go out to dinner for our date night from now on, you are not allowed to pull out your cell phone. And I thought, okay, cool. We're married. We've been married. We're in love. I love her to death. There's no other woman in my eyes. I love her so much. It's going to be but we got to the table, and I realized for the first time we've been married going on 3 years, and I could not come up with anything to talk about. And I kept reaching for my phone in my pocket just out of habit. And I said, what if we looked at every average American family and thought about why the awkward silence comes after, because we're so distracted and we're not focused on what we need to get focused on. How many of you can say, if I just had 5 more hours in a day, I would be okay? If I had 5 more hours in a day, I'll be okay. God, give us 30, 29. If I have 5, how many of you would say, if my boss could add 1 more zero to the end of my paycheck, I'd be okay? Add 1 more zero to the end of my paycheck, and I would be okay. Now, don't raise your hand on this one, please. But how many of you don't raise your hand? Please don't raise your hand. Please don't raise your hand. Please don't raise your hand. But how many of you have thought at some point in your life, man, if I were just born in a different family? Don't raise those hands. I saw a couple of them. But a lot of times we will say these things and we'll say these phrases, if I had more time, all right, if I had a little bit more money, if I had been born in this family, I would have been different. How about this? And here's the idea, and here's the refocus that God is trying to do to us. But seek ye first the kingdom of God. What God is trying to say is, if you stop focusing on the you and what you need out of it, and remember that I have given you enough time to do exactly what I need you to do. You don't need the more money. I've given you exactly the amount of money that you need to do what I need you to do. Your family isn't, guess what? Everybody's family has one crazy uncle, a crazy cousin, or something that you would call crazy. But we love them anyway, and we love them. That's what makes the family. As a matter of fact, if they were gone from the family, we would miss them on family times and reunions. But God has said, I put you in the family that I wanted you to be in to do what I need you to do. Students, you were at the school God needs you to be at to do exactly what he needs you to do. People who work, you were at the job that exactly what God has you placed to do exactly what he needs you to do. If not, if we were done with our assignment, guess what? We don't like talking about this part. If we were done with our assignment, we'd be with him. So every day we wake up, okay, God, you have me here for a reason. If God didn't have you at the job that he didn't want to have you at right now, guess what? You'd be at a different job, exactly where God wanted you to be at. If you weren't in the family that God wanted you to be at, guess what? You would be in a different family. But our whole purpose on tonight is to reset our minds not on what we say comes first or what we need, but simply God has me everywhere exactly where he needs me to be to do exactly what he needs me to do for him. Focus, because sometimes we lose focus, and then there are those of us who don't have any focus at all. It's called the gutter life mentality. It's called the gutter life mentality. I'll just let life happen to me. Every time I set a goal, I fail. So I'm just let life happen. Let it come to me as it comes to me. And guess what? I don't know which one is worse, to have the wrong goal or to have no goals at all. And I'm afraid of people without any goals, because a person with no hope is a dangerous person. A person with no hope doesn't care about himself, and it doesn't care about you at all either. So what we're going to come through tonight, what we're going to come out with is we need to refocus. Say refocus. Where is your focus? How do we get focus out of this? Matthew 6:33 says, but seek ye first. Let's deal with the seek, all right? God's saying it's really a point of view deal. If I were to pour a glass of water and it was half full, how many of you would say that it was half empty? It's a point of view, and what God is trying to get you to see is it's not a matter of you're in a wrong place or that something's wrong with you, but you have a perspective and a mindset and a focus that need to be shifted away from what is currently focused on. If you have issues in life and problems, guess what? You are not a problem to fix. Humans, it's not like you can reach inside of us and, fix us and all of a sudden we're going to work right. You're not a problem to fix. You have a focus that needs to be redirected. Focus, not dreams, intentions, hopes, prayers, beliefs, education. None of those determine where we end up in life. What determines where we end up is where our treasure actually is and where our focus actually is. How many of you have ever been to the store and you were emotionally pulled away from what you were focused on once you got into the grocery store? Raise your hand if you fall and prey to phrases like this. 0% financing and no money down. I know I don't need to date him, but he's rich. Don't raise your hand. Guys, don't raise your hand on this one either. Man, I know I don't need to be with her, but she knows how to make a brother feel, man. No payments for 12 months. How many of you fall prey to this one? It used to be buy one, get one free. And we're so hooked on BOGO now, they can say buy 10 and get one free, and we're going right for the 10 to get that one that's free. How many of you have fallen prey to this one? And I worked at a store, I won't say the name of the store, that used this, and I was just perplexed at the people who did it. It was if you buy $75 worth of stuff, you get $25 off. Now, you probably only came up with $35. But what the person says, well, if you spend $40 more, technically you're getting the other shirt for free. So what you'll do is you'll go back and you'll add to your $35 just so you can get $75 to get $25 off. Anybody ever fallen prey to that one? How about this one? I know I don't need it right now, but I know I might need it sometime in the future. All right, and you all are going to be on that show called Hoarders, and we're going to look, and you're going to have a closet in the house just full of stuff that you might use in the future. You're going to be 80, and you're going to have all this stuff that you're never, ever going to use. But sometimes in life, what Satan does is, Satan doesn't try to make us weak and fall down. He says, if I can get your focus off the right thing, I can make you beat yourself up. Satan is trying to get us to take our focus off the Creator and spend all our time chasing after what He created. So we'll spend our entire life focusing on what was created, a car, a money, and job, and all these other things, and we'll take our focus totally off the Creator. That's why it says in Ecclesiastes 12:1, it says, but remember your Creator in the days of your youth. And that's so important because God says we'll get so focused on the material things and chasing after them, so we'll get in more and more debt, and our focus is, oh God, I don't have any money. Do you really not have any money, or is your focus in the wrong place?